Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are pleased to be joined by the newest head football coach at Fowlerville High School. That, of course, is Matt Copeland. How's it going?
Doing great, Casey. Thanks for having me.
Well, first off, congratulations on becoming the newest head football coach at Fowlerville. I know you've coached in other sports at Fowlerville, and I know you've been on the staff for a long time. But when this opportunity came about, when this job came about, what made you decide maybe it's time to be a head coach again, and obviously in a different sport?
Yeah, it was, Coach Fletcher mentioned that he was stepping down. He gave a tremendous amount of time and energy and everything to it. And so I had a lot of respect for him. And right now, personally and professionally, I have my youngest daughter will be graduating upcoming this summer. And so really we're starting to get a bit of an empty house. And so the amount of time I had was going to free up a little bit. So with Coach Fletcher stepping down, and personally, just the timing for it for me, it was something where I could really take a run at it and just and find out if I was going to be the best person for the job.
And I know you've been on the staff for quite a long time, but you took off the two COVID years, 2020 and 2021. But
Yeah.
You came back this year. What was it like? What was it like to come back? And obviously, it's like, you've been doing this for a while, so
Yeah.
you just have to get used to doing it again. And obviously, it'll be a much different this time around, knowing that you're the guy.
Yeah. Well, it was anytime, and any coach will tell you, anytime that you stop being a coach, it's a hard decision. For me, it was just to make sure I had some important years with my daughters, and I talked to Coach Fletcher. Um, when I stepped down, it's when Jeff Finney came in and he kind of became available. So it was an easy transition for me. Coach Finney came in, did a great job. He took the assistant principal job at our junior high school where I teach. And so he kind of had to step away from the coaching. And so, I talked to my wife and the girls, and we decided it would be okay if I came back and kind of switched places with him again and came back on with Coach Fletch. So, yeah, it's been, I think 2000 was my first year coaching sports in Fowlerville. I have almost 20 years coaching football, 7 or 8 as a softball coach. I did the shot put and discus for our track team last year, and going back and doing that again. It's just kind of what I've done my whole career. So it was an easy kind of decision to make.
Yeah. So going into this year, now that the coach is hired and all that, and obviously it's a familiar face to the kids because you were on the staff. But what's it gonna? I mean, in terms of staff change, I don't think there's going to be. And you told me not much is going to change. Obviously, the head coach is different, but it's someone very familiar.
Yeah, and losing Coach Fletcher was a pretty good hit. He was as good as they got. Fantastic dude, great relationship builder. But the other guys on staff have been doing it for a really long time. I have a tremendous amount of trust in them. They're hardworking. They're great with the kids. And so it's just kind of going to be putting the puzzle pieces back together in a little different order based on who's going to do what.
Yeah. So and obviously, as you know, this is a division where you can do a lot of things, and this is talented division because we've seen it with Williamston, what they've been able to do, what Mason's been able to do for several years. What is it like playing in the CAAC, Brad?
It's as far as a division that has some Division 3, Division 4, Division 5 schools in it. It's extremely competitive. There are no easy weeks. So for us, it's just a matter of putting together our plan of what we want to do to be successful and trying to follow that week in and week out, with the understanding that you better pack your lunch every day and make sure that you respect the team on the other side, because there's everybody on our schedule is going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah. So I know that coming into the year, I know that the workouts have kind of already started for the year. What's it been like? And obviously the kids know you. Have you gotten a chance to talk with a lot of with some of them since you became the head coach?
No, I haven't talked with anyone. We just got back from vacation, and we set up a little meeting for that Friday we get back to just say hi to everybody and make it kind of an official announcement, I guess. And then we'll just lay out our plan for the off season. Um, I have, my daughter, one daughter just graduated a couple years ago. My other daughter's a senior this year, so I really know a lot of the kids in the school, and from having being a teacher at the junior high, I have some educational relationships with a lot of the kids. So um, I'm anticipating them understanding a little bit of how I work, and we're gonna dive into it and start the process.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, it was not the best year for Fowlerville last year. What's it going to be like? Coming off coming off a difficult season like last year was.
Yeah, it's the great part about high school athletics, is you really have a chance every year to put the past year behind you. Whether we've had successful years or years where we won only 2 or 3 games, um, you have a chance to kind of get a fresh start and take a look at the group of kids you have and start that. I don't know. You kind of have to rebuild every year with the relationships and leadership. So our focus is going to be what's our plan going forward, and with the realization that um, we we have we have the ability to learn a lot from last year, the successes and the failures, and we're going to learn everything we can and keep progressing forward.
Yeah. So I know that a lot of the a lot of the you'll meet the kid. Well, you already know them, but
Yeah,
obviously you haven't met them as the head coach yet. What are some of the things that that you're gonna really talk about as this is I mean is talk about just some of the changes that are being made, but what's gonna be what are you gonna really kind of send the message to them as you meet them for the first time as the head coach?
yeah. Uh, our message, first and foremost, when we meet on Friday next week, is first of all, I want them to kind of crush the last 3 weeks of their semester academically, and understanding that you got to be a student athlete, and we want to make sure that we're taking care of the classroom first. So that's our first message, is to just crush these last 3 weeks of the semester, and then we'll kind of start our official off season on that. So it'd be the 23rd or so of January. So we'll give them a schedule and tell them, hey, this is we're going to raise expectations. Expectations have always been high, and we're just going to keep raising them a little bit more and a little bit more, and try to control the things we control, and show some leadership and have a great off season. We really want kids to. I want our basketball players and our wrestlers to kick butt the rest of their seasons. And then I want as many of our kids to go out and be multi-sport athletes in the spring and get on the track squad and baseball. And trying to think of what other. We had a few kids play golf last year, and get yourselves in competitive situations where you can learn how to be a gladiator.
All right. All right. Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. And again, congrats on being the newest head coach at Fowlerville.
Thanks, Casey. I appreciate it, brother.